Congratulations. You decided to start your own business. You're self-employed now. You're an entrepreneur now. Now you become a target. What's up, ninjas? What is going on? Thunder Bumper Tuesday is in full effect, and it is nothing less than that. We've had nothing but rain the last 2 days, actually, so no Pump Monday and no Thunder Bumper Tuesday. It has been nothing but serious amounts of rain, and I have just been sitting on Granny's couch playing video games, catching up with the family, hanging out, sleeping in, doing all the things that ninjas do when they don't work. Yeah. So I figured I'd take the time, since there's nothing we can do. Tomorrow will be our first day back in action, Whack-A-Granny Wednesday, and I would tune up and do a little grease fitting. And I got the DeWalt grease gun out, and I just greased all the points that I was able to see without actually looking at a diagram and hunting and see if there's any other ones that I'm not aware of, since this machine is still fairly new to me. I am using the DeWalt grease gun right here. I purchased this thing a while back. This is a beautiful piece of equipment right here. You have different brands, of course, that you can use, that you can purchase, but I ended up going with the DeWalt. Like I said, I've had it for a while now, and it does a fantastic job. It is battery powered. Something that a lot of us self-employed business owners don't really discuss much, and it's very important in my opinion. And I think a lot of you who are in business, fairly new, maybe just now starting up, listen up. So you wanted to be an entrepreneur, you wanted to be self-employed, and you wanted to work for yourself. And it doesn't have to be lawn care, it could actually be anything, whether you are a plumber, electrician, construction worker, landscaper, lawn care professional, whatever it is that you're doing, listen up. When you become a business owner, you start to have a truck, you start to have a trailer, you start to have equipment on there, whether you have magnets on there, whether you have a wrap on your truck, it really doesn't matter. You instantly become a target. And when I say target, what do I mean by that? But Nick, what do you mean by that? Well, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, you become a target. You become a target from everyone and anyone. You drive down the road, people see you, they see your signs, they see your equipment, whatever you may have, and now they know that you are a business individual, and you become a target. You become a target. If you get into an accident, if you you break something, you damage something, maybe you get into an accident on the road, the first thing they look at is, he's a business owner, he's got coverage. I'm gonna try to empty him, take him to the dry cleaners, take him to the cleaners, whatever you wanna call it, all the terminology that is out there. So we all know how important it is to have liability insurance. That way you are covered. God forbid you hit something, right? Damage something on customer's property, you break a window, maybe you sling a rock and hit somebody in the eye. You wanna be protected, so that way you don't have any problems with your customer. You can take care of your customer, because at the end of the day, it's all about assurance to the customer. You wanna make sure that they know that they're comfortable to have you around their property, and they know if things can happen, and when they do, that you are gonna take care of them. And what I mean by that is not only liability insurance, which is super important, but you really need to have other forms of insurance too. Not to mention, of course, you want to have full coverage on your vehicle and on your trailer and all your equipment, which is super important. If you get into an accident, whether it's your fault or not, you want to be covered, because even if it's not your fault, sometimes the other insurance company, by the other person, can drag their tail and take their time. By the time they investigate, and by the time they make a decision, you could be out of your equipment, out of your truck, and you could be hurting. And you don't want to put yourself in that situation. You don't want to put your business in that situation. If you've got employees working for you, if you have people in the truck with you, they are on your time, and you need to protect them as well. So if you get into a car accident and your employee is hurt, you want to cover that. You want to be protected. What you don't want is that employee coming back at you. Now they're out of work. Now they're in a hospital. Now they're hurting, and they're going to be looking at you. And don't think that the hospital is not going to ask them, how did this happen? Where were you at? Who were you with? He's going to answer, she is going to answer all those questions. And the hospital even is going to go, okay, so you were at work. So this is a workman's comp situation. You want to have workman's comp. You want to have protection. That way it is protected. To the people that are with you at all times are protected. So one of the big questions that I have had a lot of people ask me, and honestly, this is a question that I've asked my insurance agent when I was signing up is, do I need workman's comp even if I'm using people such as 1099 or W-2, of course? And the answer is yes. So my question was, why do I need to have workman's comp if I am using just people as a 1099? And the answer is quite simple. They are still on your time. You are paying them, and you want to make sure that you're protected, and ultimately they're protected. Why is it important? Well, like I said earlier, it's important because you want to protect the people that are with you. You don't just 1099 or W-2, it doesn't matter. They work with you, they work on your time, and you are paying them. And if it really got dirty, the judge wouldn't want to hear it if they're a 1099 or a W-2, because really at the end that wouldn't matter. They worked for you and they got hurt on the job. Now remember, ninjas, it's your business. This is your baby. You worked your butt off to get to where you are, whether you've been in business 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, or 20, 30 years. It doesn't really matter. Everything I have in here, everything I have with my clientele, including the trailer over there in the truck, multiple trucks, I worked really hard. It wasn't given to me, and it's taken me years to get to my comfort zone, I guess I should say. But all that can be gone in a split second if you don't protect yourself. Workman's comp, liability. Make sure your insurance company also on your vehicles is informed that you are using that truck for a business purpose only. Will it be a little bit more? Of course it will, probably. But you know what? It's so worth it. Now you're probably wondering, how much is workman's comp, Nick? Can I really afford it? I don't think I could afford it. What they do is, if you've got people that are working for you, they're gonna ask you how much do they really make a year. So it's kind of like a package deal. If you have them $25,000 a year or less, then you're on this category, this level, and then that's gonna be the price for you. If it's like $30,000 or $35,000 or less, it'll be a little bit a higher level, but it'll be in a different category. And then of course, if it's like 50, 60,000 or 100,000 a year, depending if you've got a manager or if you've got a lead man, depending how much you pay and who all you have on your team, then that's how it's going to be broken down into how much you will be billed and priced. To give you a rough example, or a rough estimate, I guess I should say, because it is a rough example. For everybody, this is going to be different. But if you got somebody with about $25,000, $30,000, which is a start, I guess, maybe to somebody that you just bring on board. And of course, that's going to grow if they prove themselves and they stick around with you. But you're probably looking at about $1,500 a year. Which brings me to another topic. Sole proprietor or LLC? Look, I've been a sole proprietor for many, many years. Matter of fact, all up until like 2 years ago or so, okay? And there's nothing wrong with it. So once you're a smaller company, it's okay. That's how you want to start. It's the cheapest way to start, so that way you are on the books and you're legal. But it is something to consider down the road as you grow, and that is to get an LLC. Now, how much is an LLC and what is it? An LLC is probably somewhere around, first time to sign up, I want to say about $400 or $500. Really just depends what state you're in. Every state is a little bit different. And then every year you have to reapply, kind of like a business license, and you have to renew. And how much is that? Well, again, every state is different, but you're probably still going to look around $300 or $400 a year. Is it worth it? And what is it? Yes, it is worth it. An LLC, an LLC is basically another form of insurance for your business. It's called a bubble, basically, or a balloon. Most people would refer to it as a balloon. And what it is it puts you in that bracket, in that balloon, okay, for your business. So if you were to ever get sued by a customer, by an employee, whoever, previous employee, they can only sue you in that balloon. So what does that mean? It means they can't come after you after your vehicles. They can't come after you after your home. They can't come after your family. So an LLC is good to protect your business, but it's even more important to have it to protect your family. Because the last thing you want to do, ninjas, you're out here huffing and puffing and slicing and dicing, right? And you're cutting all these yards and you're killing yourself. Next thing you know, you got a previous employee, maybe a customer, and they're suing you for such and such damages or something of that nature. You want to be covered. You want to be protected. The last thing you want to worry about is losing your home and losing everything you've ever worked for. I used to work with a guy when I had a full-time job. His wife got into a car accident and she got really, really hurt. I don't know the full details, but let me tell you, her life changed forever. He worked full-time. He was actually a shift manager with me. And we got pretty close. We talked. And one of the things he shared with me, he said, my wife's life was taken away. She will never be the same. And it was these people who hit her. It was their fault. And I said, so what happened? He goes, well, not only did we empty their insurance policy on the vehicle, which was not enough. It's nothing. It's a joke. Even if it was like a couple $100,000, it was a joke. Her life is changed forever. So I said, so what did you do? He goes, I went after them with everything that I could. My wife will never be the same. And I'm telling you, it messed her up. So what he did is he went after everything that they have. He went after their home. He went after their vehicles. I don't know the details, but I know the house was a big factor. So he said he couldn't kick them out and he couldn't take their home away from them while they lived in it. But one of the things that he could do is he put it like a lien on it or a hold. And what that means, ninjas, is they can never sell that house again. Because if they do, or if they try to, all the money for that house will go directly to him. Sometimes, ninjas, when we get into business, we get so excited. We just want to cut yards because it's what we love. And we want to make good money, of course, because there is good money to be made if you are willing to work hard. But there's a lot more that comes with it when you are starting to become an official lawn care business owner. And like I said earlier, any business for that matter, but we're particularly talking lawn care. And there's a lot of responsibilities that comes with it. So this is why it's so risky for those guys who are just doing this on the side, part-time. They got a full-time job. They don't really want to go into this full-time. They just want to do a little bit on the side. It's a big risk for them because they don't really look at this as a career. They kind of look at this as a side income, and that's all handy-dandy fine. But what's not fine is if they don't get that extra protection, just like the guys who are doing this for a career full-time should as well. Anytime you start any kind of a business, anytime you start anything that is servicing on other people's property, think about it. This is not your property. This is not your home. This is not your land. And this is not your grass. You have been given privilege to be on that property and to take care of that property. But you want to protect yourself and protect that customer. And when you have things of that nature in place, you become more appealing to the customer. When they know that they're protected and they know that they just hired a professional who has everything in place, you're more likely to get the job. Even if you are a little more pricier than the person who's just doing it part-time, you know, and doesn't take it as serious, they just want the side money. Nothing wrong with it, of course, but you're more likely to get the job. I have in my 10 years learned that just because I'm a little bit more expensive, people are willing to pay. People are willing to pay for that reassurance. So sometimes when they pay you, it's not about can you cut the grass as nice as the guy behind you. As I mentioned in my previous videos, everybody can cut your yard and make it look really nice as long as they have decent equipment. And we're all doing the same thing. But sometimes the customers will pay you to get that reassurance. Or assurance, I should say, to feel safe. Not to mention, of course, if they see that you're a trustworthy person, you're not gonna rob them, you're not gonna steal from them, and you're not gonna damage things and then not say anything and then be quiet and leave the property. So you see, ninjas, at the end of the day, it's not about what you do, because we all do the same thing. It's about how you do it. What kind of business do you run? Are you running a small little business that's just working on the side and you're not really gonna take all those steps, extra steps to protect yourself and your customer? Are you gonna run a business that's just, you know, you're there today and you may not be there tomorrow because your main focus and commitment is your full-time job? Again, nothing wrong. I'm not downing those people. Never disrespect anybody's hustle. Or are you running a legitimate business that you've turned into a career? You plan on doing this the rest of your life as long as you can, as long as you're able to, and the customers can depend on you. They can count on you, not only in the safety aspect of things, knowing that they're protected, but also in just knowing that you're determined and you're there for them. It's super important to think about things like that, and I hope all of you are thinking about things like this. And if you are planning to go into business, maybe you just started, maybe you are just thinking about starting, or maybe even you have a few years under your belt, get protection. Protect yourself, protect your business, protect your family, and protect the customers that you dearly love and serve. Oh yeah, and let's not forget, of course, protect the people that work with you, that sit next to you in the same truck and are out here busting their tail just like you. Make sure they're protected at all times. One of the good things about having workman's comp is you have a serious amounts of lawyers on your side. It comes with your package. They protect you. So one of the things that my insurance agent told me is if you ever have somebody that actually turns in a claim, they get hurt on the job, now they're in the hospital, and now they want to come after you and say that they got hurt on the job and that you're responsible. All you have to do is give their information. But at that point, that employee does not deal with you anymore. I have nothing to do with them. I turn them over and they deal with my insurance attorneys. Okay, so it's one of the benefits of getting that. It's basically just another form of insurance. Take precautions and protect yourself. Anyway, I'm out of here, ninjas. Stay tuned. There's gonna be a lot of footage this week. I'm so behind, but what do? There's just nothing you can do when it comes to nothing but rain. Hope you guys are having a good day. I hope a lot of you maybe have better weather than we do here and are getting things done. And stay safe up there, of course, because of all the stuff that's going around. But we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.